Hi boys and girls, welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's class, we are going to discuss about the simple if statement. Please don't forget, in the previous class, I gave you an introduction to these things, okay, whereby I told you how the compiler is going to execute the statements in the program. It is going to execute sequentially. Okay, it is going to execute sequentially. See, let's say you want to print some of the statements and you want to skip some of the statements. How are we going to achieve this? We are going to achieve this with the help of what? With the help of branching statements. With the help of branching statements. These branching statements are also called selection statements. They are also called selection statements. The branching statements are further divided into two. We have what we call conditional statements and we also have unconditional statements. Okay, the conditional statements are further divided into four, right? The conditional statements are further divided into four. We have the simple if statement, the one that we are going to discuss in today's class. We have what we call the if else statement. We also have what we call the nested if statement. We also have what we call the what? We have the switch statement. Okay, here the unconditional are further divided into three. We have go to, we have continue, we also have the break what? The break statement. Okay, we also have what we call iterations, iteration loops, or you can say these are also called what? They are also called the looping statements. They are also called the looping statements. We have three looping statements that we are going to discuss. We have the for loop, we have the while loop, we also have what we call the do while loop. Okay, we discussed all these things in the previous class. Let's go back to our topic, the simple if statement. So this if is nothing but a keyword. This keyword is followed by a set of parentheses. Okay, so how to write the program? The if keyword is followed by a set of parentheses. Do you still remember what is a keyword? Keywords are reserved words in C programming that have specific meaning. Okay, and see, these keywords are written in what? They are written in small letters. Whenever you are writing a keyword, you are supposed to write it in what? In small letters. Remember, C programming is case sensitive. So if you write capital letter I, then it will be something else. Okay, so the if keyword is followed by a set of what? It is followed by a set of parentheses. The condition is placed inside the parentheses. You are supposed to write the condition inside the parentheses. And what is going to happen? This condition is evaluated first. The condition is evaluated first. So how are we going to write it? The general syntax. The general syntax. You write the if followed by the set of the what? Parentheses. And inside the parentheses you are supposed to write what? You are supposed to write the condition. So if followed by a set of parentheses, inside you are supposed to write the condition. Okay, then you open this curly brace, then you close. So inside this now, this is what we call the if block. So inside the if block now, maybe a few statements are there. This is another statement. This is this is the first statement. This is the second statement in the what? In the if block. So what will happen if this condition is true? The statements in the if block are executed. If you have only one statement, it means the statement in the if block is going to be executed. If you have many statements, it also means those statements are going to be executed. So if the condition is true, the if block is executed. Let's move on to the next point. The if statement is not terminated with a semicolon symbol. Okay, what is the meaning of this statement? Remember, whenever you are writing statements in C programming, many statements we are going to terminate them using the semicolon symbol. So this if statement is not terminated by a semicolon symbol. Okay, you are not supposed to write this semicolon symbol. But what will happen? Let's say you have written a program. Let's say you have written a program. If condition, right? This is the condition in the parenthesis, semicolon, and you are writing some statements here. Then this is the closing curly bracket. What will happen? The compiler is not going to give you error. Okay, but what is going to think is this. It is going to think this statement is a null statement. Okay, it is going to think this is a null statement. It is going to take this statement as a null statement. Okay, so what is going to happen? This statement is not going to be printed. Okay, it is going to take it as a null statement, and these statements are going to be executed whether the condition is true or false, because these statements are being this if condition terminated by a semicolon is being considered as a what? As a null statement. This will be the question in your exam. Very, very important. Okay, what I'm trying to say, the if statement is not terminated with the what? With a semicolon. So how are you supposed to write? You're supposed to write if, the if keyword followed by the set of the parentheses, and inside you are supposed to write the condition. The condition is going to be checked first. The condition is going to be evaluated enough. If the condition is being satisfied, or if the condition is true, what is going to happen? These statements are going to be executed. The if block is going to be executed. If this condition is false, if this is not correct, what will happen? The control is not going to execute the statements in the if block. It is going to skip the if block, and it is going to print the statement outside the what? Outside the if block. What of if you place a semicolon after the parenthesis of the what? Of the if statement? This is not going to give you error, but what is going to happen is this. This is going to be considered as a null statement. Okay, so these statements are going to be printed whether this condition is true or false, because this thing is not working. Okay, so the compiler will print all the statements above this if statement. Okay, then it is going to consider this as a null statement. Directly it is going to print this, it is going to print this, then it will move out of this curly braces, and it is going to print all the statements outside the what? Outside the if block. Okay, so let's discuss a program. We want to write a program using the simple if statement, and we would like to check the what? We would like to check the output. Okay. stdio.h int num printf enter. Okay. Scanf %ht comma %. So this is a small program. Let's check. We would like to find out the output of this program. cPanel. The first statement is hash include stdio.h. What is this? This is nothing but a preprocessor directive. Okay. So the compiler is going to check for this preprocessor directive first. Okay. This is my statement number 1. Then what is the next thing? It is going to check for the main function. Okay. This is the main function. Int main. Okay, it is going to check for the main function. Then it is going to enter into the main function. Okay, now it is going to execute the statements in the main what? In the main function. It is going to execute the statements in the main function. Okay, how? It is going to execute these statements sequentially. Okay, so this statement is the first statement in the main function. So this statement is going to be executed first. Statement number 3. Int num. What is the meaning of this statement to the compiler? This statement is introducing a variable called num. Okay, it is introducing a variable called num to the compiler. And this variable is going to store a what? Is going to store an integer. This is nothing but the declaration of a variable num. So what will happen in the compiler? Some space is allocated for the variable num. So this is num. Suppose the memory address is 220. Num is still empty. Let's move on to statement number 4. Printf. Enter a number. What is this? This is a formatted output function. Printf is a formatted output function. It is going to display what is inside the parentheses. Okay, what is inside this what? These codes. So this is part of your output. You are going to see this statement, enter a number. This you are going to see on your LCD. Enter a number. Okay, enter a number. This is an instruction. What are you going to do? You are going to enter a number. Suppose I'm entering 50. So you are going to enter 50. It's okay. So Sipana, you have entered the number. The number is 50. But see, this 50 is not yet stored in what? In num. This 50 is still what? Pending. Okay, so see, this statement number 5 now, this is the formatted input function. Scanf is the formatted input function. So it is going to direct the number that you have entered to the address of what? Of this variable num. You have entered 50 now. So this 50 is directed to the address of the variable what? Of the variable num. So 50 will come here. Okay. Now num is holding 50. What is a variable? A variable is described as a container. It is used to store data items. It is used to store a what? It is used to store a value. This is over. Now let's move on to statement number 6. This is a conditional statement. If num is greater than 20, what will happen? The compiler will enter into this if block, and it is going to print this statement. If num is not greater than 20, if num is less than 20, what is going to happen? The compiler is not going to execute this statement. It is going to skip this statement, and it is going to print whatever statement which is outside of the what? Which is outside of the if block. Okay, which is outside of the if block. So let's check. It is going to check like this. I told you now, the condition is going to be evaluated first. Suppose 50 is coming here. 50 is greater than 20. True or false? This is true. So what is going to happen? The control will enter into the if block. Now what is going to happen? Statement number 6 is going to be executed. Printf, percentage %d is greater than 20. See, this percentage %d is a format specifier. It is used if you want to print a what? If you want to print an integer. Okay, so this integer is stored in the variable what? Is stored in the variable num. Okay, so what is the integer? 50 will come here. So 50 is greater than 20 is the output. 50 is greater than 20 is going to be printed. This is over. Now what is going to happen? After finishing the execution of the statements in the if block, the compiler is going to leave the if block. Now it is going to execute statement number 8. Printf, this is also a formatted output function. So it means what? This is going to be printed, right? This statement is going to be printed. Let's see. Percentage %d is less than 20. Okay, but this percentage %d is a format specifier which is used to store to print an integer, and this integer is placed in what? In num. So what is this? This data, this value stored in num is 50. So 50 is less than 20 is going to be printed. Is less than 20 is going to be printed. See the problem, then the program is over. See the problem now. See the problem. You are going to see this statement, enter a number, you are going to write 50, it's okay. This is going to be executed, 50 is greater than 20, it's okay. But see, this is also going to be executed, 50 is less than 20. So now what is the conclusion? You are going to be confused at the end of the what? At the end of the day. 50 is greater than 20, 50 is less than 20. Okay, well, this is the problem with the simple if statement. This is the problem with the simple if statement. Okay, let's say this is output number 1. This is output number 1. Let's have output number 2. Okay, now I'm going to run the same program. I'm going to run the same program. I'm going to run the same program. See, statement number 1 is going to be executed, followed by statement number 2. Now the compiler is going to enter into the what? It is going to enter into the main function. It's okay. It is going to enter into the main function. Now the control is in the main function. Int num. What is the meaning of this? This is the declaration of a variable num. Okay, wow. This statement is introducing a variable num to the what? To the compiler. So some space is going to be allocated for the variable num. Now suppose the memory address is 550. It's okay, this is still empty. Printf, enter a number. This is an instruction. You are going to enter a number. This you are going to see. This will come, enter a number. Suppose you are entering 10. It's okay. Now you are entering 10. It's okay. So the number is 10. Now scanf %d ampersand num. So this 10 is directed into the variable num. So 10 will come. In num there is 10 now. This condition is going to be checked. If num is greater than, what is the value of num? Num is 10. So if 10 is greater than 20, true or false? 10 is greater than 20. This is false. Okay, well, this is false. So what is going to happen? The control is not going to enter into this statement. Okay, the control is not going to enter into this if block. It is not going to enter into this block because this condition is false. So what is going to happen? It is going to print all the statements below this if block. So what is the statement? Printf %d is less than 20. Okay, well, this is a format specifier which is used to print an integer. And this integer is stored in the variable num. So what is the integer? Is 10 now. So it is going to print 10 is less than 20. 10 is less than 20. This is the output. Okay, well, so if the number is 50, this is the output. If the number that you are entering is 10, this is the output. So here it is this is biased. This is correct. It's okay. For output number 2, it's okay. Enter a number, the number is 10. It is going to print 10 is less than 20. It's okay. What about this one? This is a little bit biased because it is saying 50 is greater than 20. At the same time, it is printing this statement 50 is less than what? Is 20. Now I'm confused. Who is greater than the other? Okay, so we are going to solve this problem with the help of what we call the if-else statement. We are going to solve this problem with the help of the if-else statement. Okay, so before we start talking about the if-else statement, I would like to draw the flowchart of this program, like the flowchart of the simple if statement. We have what we call the flowchart. What is the flowchart? The flowchart is nothing but the diagrammatical representation of the what? Of the program. Okay, so I said the general syntax. This is the general syntax. If followed by condition, and here we are going to say, you are going to write the if block statements. Okay, if block statement or statements, it's okay. Then you close here. Suppose you have a statement in semicolon. Okay, this is the general syntax. Now I want to draw the flowchart. So what is the flowchart? Flowchart is the diagrammatical representation. Okay, showing the execution of the what of the program, how the program is going to be executed. So see, this is the input, so this is the condition. The condition is going to be checked. Two cases are there. If the condition is true, what is going to happen? The if block statements are executed. Okay? If this is true, this is going to be executed. Then after the execution of this statement N is also going to be executed. So if this is false, or directly you can say this is false, statement N is going to be okay. This is over. So if the condition is true, the if block statements are going to be executed. It's okay. Then after the execution of this, the next the statement N is going to be executed. What about this false? If this is false, only this statement N is going to be what? Is going to be executed. Right? This is over. Thank you very much, boys and girls. I will see you in the next class.